Welcome into the PHNX pregame show brought to you by our friends at the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you know whenever we are live. I'm Lindsey Smith here with Espo, and Espo and I are both a little bit low energy today. We are skirting around the injury report for this one, so bear with us.
As of an hour and a half ago, I thought I might be joining Devin in health and safety protocols. Not the case. So at least that's good news. Lindsey, before we get into it, though, can I share one thing here?
Of course.
I feel like it's something we have to do. It's a little video clip that I put together. I felt like I had to say goodbye to that friend of mine that was on my lips for
it didn't even last 40 or 24 hours, did it?
No. It didn't last 12 hours.
Yeah, I was trying.
It was
real quick.
about
I was
10
trying to
hours
do the
and
math
15
there.
minutes.
That's funny. You literally got home the other night and was like, "This got to go."
Oh, Mrs. was like, "Get in the bathroom and shave that thing off your face this minute." And I was like, "No problem. I'm done."
Everyone is so sad. They're like, "Oh no, it's gone. R.I.P. to your mustache." Why, Espo? Why?
That's because they're sad because they didn't have to have it on their face.
That's fair.
All right, that's why they were sad. So
Buck Dog said, "Gone but not forgotten." Gone but not forgotten.
Marco, just helping my feelings today. Espo, you look better with the stash. So I look terrible today. Thank you for that.
No, I think it's funny because you were like, "Oh, don't worry, by mid next week the whole beard, everything will be back." Like you grow facial hair like no one's business. So at least that's a positive here, is that you'll be back to looking like your normal self in no time.
Yep, the double chin will be gone. So it won't be gone. It'll be hidden. So don't worry. We'll get there.
I feel you. Sometimes I could use a mustache or a beard as well, but I digress.
I don't think the mustache helps with that.
No, that won't help very much.
Look, the reason we're focused on this is because this is not a game we want to talk
No, not at all. It's the Suns and the Bucks, and the Suns are absolutely depleted. Like, it is just going to be one of those games that's just really unfortunate. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still think that the Suns could play really well in this game if everybody steps up to the plate and plays within the system. And that's something that Monty really talked about here pregame. But it's going to be a tough matchup. The Bucks are a no-joke team, and the Suns are – we may as well get into it. Let's just look at our injury report so we can break it all down for you guys. The Suns are without Chris Paul. They're without Devin Booker. And now they're going to be without Cam Johnson, who is out with a right quad contusion. So Monty said that he got kneed in the thigh Friday night. And, you know, during that game, the adrenaline, all that, he was able to play through it and obviously have a career night. But then yesterday he woke up and he could barely walk. He has inflammation in that area, and to the point where he has stayed home. He is not with the team currently, which I'm not saying this is like doomsday reach for the panic button type of situation, but it does show that it's pretty rough, obviously. They're taking it seriously. They don't want him to be put in any position to further get injured anymore. And I also am curious if he's going to catch a flight out to Florida or not, or if they're just going to keep him home for those two games as well and kind of just say, hey, you know what? We'd rather you get full strength and healthy again than risk anything further happening.
Well, look, the Suns have an 8-game lead for the number one spot in the NBA. You're playing with house money. So if it's the difference between this lingers for a couple of weeks, or he can be through with it if he stays home from the Florida trip, stay home.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go 1-1. You can beat Orlando with what we're rolling out in Milwaukee today. That's not, I don't think that's a problem. And then you look at the Miami game and you say, you know what, we'll sacrifice this. And it may not be the worst thing, because if you do and you meet Miami in the finals, they have less tape on you against them. So that's always a bonus as well. But yeah, I mean, it sucks because Cam has the big night, drops 38 points. And then unfortunately this happens.
Yeah.
But look, today feels like when you run into that person who broke your heart and you are in sweatpants. You have not showered. You literally ran out because you need to get some Advil because you feel like crap. And they're dolled up to the nines, and they see you, and they're like, "Ah, yeah, okay,
Oh,
hi, yeah,
okay.
wow, okay." That's kind of what this rematch of the finals is. This is not the Suns looking pretty. This is the I just rolled out of bed and showed up in Milwaukee, and you're getting what you're getting kind of game.
Yeah. So one quick note on the Cam Johnson thing. The NBA did announce a couple minutes ago that Julius Randle was fined $50,000 for that shoving match that kind of happened between him and Cam. So he got a little slap on the wrist there from the NBA for that one. Poor Cam. This was such a bummer. The other night's game was so physical, and I understand wanting to come in every single game you have to take seriously, but there's a part of me that's just like, did it need to be that physical of a game? Did it really need to be that physical of a game?
It's
New
the
York
New
Knicks
York.
looking at you.
It's the New York Knicks. Of
I
course, it's going to
know,
be
but
physical. Even
still.
going back, I mean, that's been this team's MO for decades, and Thibodeau's that kind of old school mentality. And Julius Randle ain't the brightest crayon in the box either. So, so be it.
Mhm.
Again, much rather all this happen
Right
in
now than
March
later.
than
Yeah,
in May. Like
totally.
that's the solace I take in any of this is it's not the playoffs, so
Yeah.
you can weather this storm. And somehow, even with all this, the Suns have added a game and a half on their lead because the Warriors can't get out of their way. Memphis has had a few speed bumps, not a lot, but because they've closed some of the gap. But I mean,
Memphis is 8 games
lead,
back, right?
8 games,
Yeah,
and Golden State's 8.5 games.
right.
I mean, that's a big deal here. I mean, so be it. I don't know.
Mhm.
Maybe the Sun surprises. Look, today has to be the Deandre Ayton game. I wonder
Yep.
if our feed will cut out like Friday now that I'm talking about DeAndre Ayton. But look, DeAndre Ayton has to do what we saw from Cam Johnson the other night. Have the game of his career, understanding that his teammates are missing. He needs to pick them up. He needs to realize if he wants to be valued the way that he expects in his own mind, this is the kind of game that you carry them, that you keep it close. Maybe you get a win even though you're massively depleted, all because you will them to victory. Because it's him, it's Mikhail tonight, or this
Mhm.
afternoon. I always default to saying tonight, but this
You guys
afternoon,
know what we're saying.
that's the key here is can Mikhail, can DA have great offensive games? Because it's not fair to put Campaign in his third game back in that position to be the guy that has to carry the offense. Jay Crowder can only do so much. And the bench, that's gonna be it's not gonna be the prettiest unit. All right, we're gonna see a lot of Torrey Craig this afternoon, and you're gonna be asking him to do a lot of things that you don't usually ask Torrey Craig to do. This is gonna be a tough
Mhm.
game, probably the toughest of the season so far.
Absolutely. And, for DeAndre Ayton, that was an area of emphasis for Monty pregame. He said he is well aware that DeAndre has to have a big game tonight, but he has to do it within their system. So I know that's been a key focal point that we've talked a lot about here with Chris Paul out and Devin Booker out within the system. And he pointed to the other night with Cam Johnson, they didn't necessarily feature him, is what he kind of said. Cam just showed up big and within the system was able to have the type of game he had. That's what DeAndre needs to do here today. He needs to, mix it up a little bit, take some jumpers, all those things, balance, but within the system. That has to be the key point here.
Well, yeah, but he's gonna have to play. I think you play him massive minutes. 40. If this is a close game, you play him 40 minutes. And you let him, try to figure out how to get it going with the second unit because there's not an offensive focal point with that second unit. JaVale McGee's the closest thing, and we know JaVale's propensity to get in foul trouble, especially against the kind of team that you're playing in Milwaukee. So you're gonna have to get creative with the lineups here too. I want to see Da out there busting his ass for 40 minutes and giving it everything he's got tonight. If we
Mm-hmm.
don't see that inkling in the back of our mind that, oh, is this guy a max? becomes a loud voice. Maybe we were wrong, because this is the kind of game that they need him to do the things that we expect, that we saw in the playoffs. And I get it. You're a big man. You don't have CP3. So be it. You got to figure out a way to impose your will on this game and dominate. I mean, you got dominating tattooed on you. Prove it. Go out there and prove that it's not just cool ink. It's actually a mentality.
Yeah, and now hopefully he's got a little extra gas in the tank tonight, because it is his son's first birthday, and he's going to be rocking some really cool custom shoes that have some Elmo. I'm guessing that's his son's favorite cartoon right now.
Yep.
So
Says
hopefully,
DeAndre Ayton Jr. on them.
hopefully that'll be a little extra boost of energy, a little something to play for, because he has talked a lot since the birth of his child that this is who I'm playing for now. Like, this is who I'm going all out, all in for, is my son. And so maybe it would be extra special, I guess you could say, if DeAndre has a huge night on his son's first birthday. Like, that would be a cool memory to have for forever.
DeAndre Ayton needs to treat the Bucks the way Elmo treats Rocco. He needs to just dominate him. Hey, that's a reference that more
I
people
get
than
it.
hey, look at that.
Mostly from the TikToks that had just recently gone viral.
Yes, exactly. Not because you're stuck watching Sesame Street like I am on a regular basis. I would rock those Elmo kicks, by the way.
Yeah.
I'd totally rock those Elmo kicks. But yeah, I think you're right. There is that extra added motivation. He is wearing those shoes for his son. It is his birthday. Sometimes guys just need a little something extra to dig deeper, and maybe that's what it is today. You also got, Jay Crowder back in Milwaukee, where he played his college ball at Marquette. They practiced at the Al McGuire Center yesterday, which is where Jay practiced sometimes with Marquette. Maybe that's a little extra something for him too. He wants to show out back in the city that helped make him an NBA player. This is the kind of game that you got to find all kinds of little motivation to get you going, because it'd be easy to just look at that injury report, look around the locker room and go, well, it's not our day.
Right.
But if we've learned anything from Monty Williams coach teams, that's not the way they act. They rarely, if ever, just throw up their hands. They always find a way to come out and have some motivation. I expect them to dig deep this afternoon.
They need to find a Michael Jordan, and I took that personally moment. Whatever that thing is for them that they want to take personally today, they need to find that.
How about getting backdoor swept in the finals? I think that should be the "and I took it personally" moment there.
Yeah, I mean, that's the obvious one, but listen, if that's not enough, pick your poison. Whatever you got to do. Whatever you got to do.
Landry Shamet should look at his shot chart for the season and go, I took it personally. All right. JaVale McGee has to dig deep and look back and go, oh, yeah, the Suns swept me 4-0, and I didn't get to enjoy what they enjoyed in the finals. I took that personally.
Right.
Find anything. I don't care.
Whatever.
Giannis looked at me sideways. I took that personally. Grayson Allen's a little punk ass, you know what? I take that personally. Whatever you need today to get going, figure it out. And also, make sure you know where the hell Grayson Allen is on the floor, because if you think Cam took a beating on Friday night, there's a good chance that somebody else is going to take one from Grayson Allen.
I literally was just about to say that and knock on wood at the same time. If that guy does anything tonight, like, it's so frustrating that, and I don't know anything about Grayson Allen, so it's not like I can point to anything from the person side of things, but it is so frustrating that every time you face a team who has him on their team, that's a concern that has to be thought about.
Yeah,
like, that is not cool.
No, not at all.
Anyway,
I mean, former son Derek Jones Jr. got in a nice little elbow in his head on Friday night. But Fabio brings up a great point.
Yeah,
it is Aaron Holiday versus Jrue Holiday, and it doesn't get more personal than sibling rivalry. That is true. So maybe this is the big Aaron Holiday game.
That would be really fun for him, I'm sure. Because isn't he the youngest one too, right?
I believe
he's the baby.
Is the youngest of the Holidays.
So, I mean, a little brotherly competition. You can't go wrong there. Plus, I guess if there's a silver lining to this one, if it does get out of hand, That could be kind of a fun storyline to have.
Maybe I start Cam and Aaron in that starting lineup. Move Shamet to the bench and put Aaron on his brother defensively.
I
Just
mean, why
just to
not?
see just to see how that works. Make sure you shut him down, because Cam and Landry, it's not the most dynamic starting backcourt, and you kind of hope maybe Landry can do some of the scoring off the bench. Maybe I go that route if I'm Monty, or at least play that lineup more often than we saw in
Mhm.
the Knicks game.
I mean, nobody's going to know Jrue better than Aaron.
Exactly.
He's
He's
literally
also
been there every step of the way. Nobody's
yep.
going to know the ins and outs of that one better. So who
So
knows?
who hits the bank 3-pointer to win this game? I mean, who's the hero tonight? If we're gonna think positive, because you know what? Why the hell not? I might as well think positive. Who's the person that you look on the roster and you go, that's the guy that's gonna have the moment. That's the guy that's gonna do what we think may not be possible.
I mean, I would like it to be Deandre Ayton just because I think that would be a really good thing for him overall. Um, but if I'm just going to throw out a name, I'm going to say Jay.
You think it's gonna be the J game? All right.
Yeah, I think we're gonna
I,
have a good Jay Crowder game. I don't know I don't know. This is what I'm trying to put this. I'm willing this out into the world. I'm putting it out into the universe. We're gonna have a really good Jay game.
Look, I want it to be McHale, right? How appropriate would it be to have Cam have the big game, then followed by McHale? But
Yeah.
he's going to have so much of a defensive responsibility in this game that I don't know that he can carry it offensively as well. So for me, it's got to be DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton's going to have to come out, and then you're going to have Landry Shamet score as well.
Yeah.
If those two guys don't get it going and they have pedestrian efforts, this is a Herculean task, and I just don't see how they're able to do it beyond that. So DA game with the side of Shamet. Let's make it happen. We need to see that tonight if we're gonna see anything entertaining for sure.
Well, let's take a look and see what our friends at the DraftKings Sportsbook app think about tonight's game. Espo, break this down for us.
I I don't know how to react to that. We haven't seen a plus number like that for the Suns at +9 all season. I mean, that shows you how depleted they truly are. They were favored by 6 against the Knicks, 6.5 against the Knicks. They're they're expected to lose by 9 or
Yeah.
more in this one from our friends at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. That's so tempting. I want to take the points because even looking at it, you're like, okay, this is the Suns, though. Do we really think they're going to get blown out? I don't know. Uh, yeah, that's a tempting number. That's a very tempting number, and I haven't placed any wagers on that DraftKings Sportsbook app in a few days, but that one gets me going. Maybe I'll throw a few shekels down.
Well, if you guys are putting some money down tonight on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, let us know so we can cheer for you along the way as well. As
I don't
Espo's
know
set
what
falls
fell off
apart.
the shelf back
It was
there,
your
but
flag.
all right.
Well, it
Well,
happens. It's
I
one of those
guess then
days, right? Everything's falling apart right now.
I guess we shouldn't expect the Suns to win. I think that was an omen. Stuff. It's just saying don't bet the points. It's just trying to get me to make sure I
We're
don't.
like,
So
no, Espo, be quiet. Don't do that one. I mean, it's gonna be an interesting game. How do you feel about this one? What do you think the outcome is? Let's look at our picks for tonight.
uh, I don't have confidence. I'm just gonna say it. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think it's the 9 that DraftKings thinks. I think it's 5. There'll be some pride on the line tonight. So I'm gonna go with Bucks by 5, but they play better than they expect. So
Yeah, I got Bucks by 6. Gerald has Bucks by 8. I think this is just one of those games where it feels maybe inevitable that they're going to drop it. You know what I mean? Unless something big happens, unless we have like another career night or just guys step up in ways that are just beyond what any of our expectations are. Saul had Bucks by what, 600,000? What was this
yes,
one?
this was the number of hunting licenses for bucks that are in Milwaukee. So
Wow, that's a
open hunting
lot.
season on deer in Milwaukee. Apparently, my number, I actually had one. It was 1844
Okay,
for
what was
saw.
that?
Any guesses as to
1844?
what that could be?
No.
The year that the Pabst Blue Ribbon brewery opened in Milwaukee and has been there since the beginning. PBR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting one. Uh,
Manuel says no mustache, no beanie, flags falling. We're cooked.
honestly, I wanted to wear a beanie today, mostly because I was supposed to wash my hair this morning and then I just got lazy and didn't. But I was like, I also don't want to put another L on my beanies. You know what I mean? Like my overall game so far, my record with the beanie on is pretty good. I'm not trying to wear it on a day where the odds are completely against us just because of the nature of what's going on. Like it's out of our control at this point. You know what I mean?
I love that those stats have gotten so much in our head that we're actually
They
thinking
really
about
have.
how we don't want to ruin them.
It's so bad. Like I just wanted to wear a beanie all the time just because, and now I'm like, should I wear a beanie tonight? Is tonight a beanie night? What potential outcomes are on the table right now? I'm overthinking it at this point, but y'all got in my head about the beanie being good luck.
I learned my lesson, though. I'm not making any bets saying, well, if the Suns win, nope, not doing it. Not doing it.
Not right now,
not
not with all
doing
these
it in a day.
injuries.
Not a chance. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
so go ahead.
I just, the Bucks are obviously still a very good team. You still have Giannis. I mean, luckily right now you have your big man depth, which was what you went into the offseason going, we need depth at center to be able to help against Giannis. You have that today. That is not where you're hurting. So maybe, just maybe by some lucky, turn of luck, you can slow Giannis down enough to keep you in this game, and you get an offensive performance that you're not expecting from a Landry Shamet, from an Aaron Holiday, Jay Crowder, Torrey Craig. Somebody has an offensive explosion like Cam Johnson did on Friday night that you go, wow, okay, that guy came with it today and gave the Suns a chance. I'm not holding my breath for it, but that's the silver lining that I look at this is the group that you put together hoping that you could try to have a better performance down low isn't where you're injured. So maybe you can slow Giannis just a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good point. And even despite all of all of the things that we're dealing with right now as far as injuries and missing players, I still see a lot of people in the chat that have a lot of faith in this team. And I think that's really cool. And I also think it's a testament to what this team has been able to do over the last 2 seasons and this season specifically that even when we are down and out, they still have a lot of fight in them. They still come together as a team. They don't fall apart. They don't let that get into their heads too much. Obviously, it's hard to just completely ignore the elephant in the room with missing 2 All-Stars and a really solid Cam Johnson. But it is cool that we're at this point in time where we're going up against the Milwaukee Bucks without 2 All-Stars and Cam Johnson on the road. And there's still faith there that the Suns could pull this one out.
Well, look, if it would be appropriate if somehow this team found a way on national television to win a game where they have no business winning when the national media, even at full strength, does not give this team the respect they deserve. You're going to make quite the statement, even if you play this game close today, missing all those guys, where it will be tough to ignore them.
Yeah.
I'm fine if they don't win. You don't need it. It's not a huge deal. But if they find a way to hang tough in this game, maybe it shifts that national narrative just enough to get them a little respect.
All right. Well, that's your kind of pregame breakdown for the game. Thank you all for joining us. Before we let you go watch this one, we do want to remind you all that we are going to be live at the Ainsworth this upcoming Wednesday when the Suns take on the Miami Heat. The pregame show will start at 5 p.m. as always. We'll be there a little bit early. If you are available, come on down, hang out with us, enjoy some good food, some good drinks. We'll all watch the game together. If you're unable to make it, don't worry. We're still going to be live right here on our YouTube channel. But if you can, we'd love to have you, love to meet some of you in person. Now that we're able to kind of get out in the world a little bit more. So put it in your calendar book right now. This Wednesday, 5 p.m. at the Ainsworth downtown.
Who has a calendar book?
I don't know. Calendar phone app.
Look, come on out. We'll have some giveaways too. We'll do some fun things. We want to just meet the community. If you bring out your calendar book, Lindsey will sign it. All right.
I mean, actually, I have one. It's called a planner. Not a calendar book. It's called a planner. But people still use them.
Nobody calls them a calendar book.
I'm aware. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. I'm not awake yet, Espo. Hence why my hair looks like this.
Hold on. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. You're not awake yet. But if we have an 8 o'clock game, you're not awake during pregame.
I am at my peak from
what is that window?
Like 4 to 6. No, 3 to 6 is my peak.
You have like a 3-hour window where you're like, I'm awake, and the rest of the day. All right. I think we could end it on that. So.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Of course, you can hang out with us during the game on social media at PHNX_Suns, or if you are a Go PHNX member, you can hang out with us in the members only Discord. If you haven't become a member yet, go PHNX.com, become a member today. You get your first month for 50 cents, or you can get a t-shirt from our locker room, absolutely free, whichever option you choose. We'll see you guys right back here, same place, right after the game wraps up. Until then, we'll see you later.
Ahoy, hoy.